Hello and welcome to day 3 of the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. We're at the Gangneung Hockey Centre for para ice hockey action as the Swedes from Scandinavia take on the Italians from the Mediterranean. One of them could find themselves all at sea after this one. It is a big game in Group A. Italy, this their final game of Group A after defeating Norway in overtime on day 1. However, defeat to Canada on day 2 has meant all rides on this one for them. As for Sweden, they've only faced the Canadians. A crunching 17-0 defeat there means we haven't really yet got a flavour of what the Swedes can offer here at this Paralympic tournament. But if they are going to bring anything, they'll have to display it over the course of the next 45 minutes. They are the standings. Canada already through to the semi-finals of the competition. It is down now to Italy, Norway or Sweden. One of them will be joining them. Satoru Yamaguchi will be taking care of this affair. He is a Japanese referee. Alongside him, the two Czechs, Jan Vanek and Leon Vesely. The Italians winning 2 of the previous 2 Paralympic meetings between these outfits. The most recent being the game in Sochi 2014, which Italy won in overtime by 3-2 after being 2 goals behind in that one. They also met twice at the 2017 World Championships as well. Italy doing the double there, 2-1 in the preliminary round and 4-0 in the 5th, 6th placed game. Massimo Derin, the 57-year-old Italian coach, putting a cool figure at the moment, as he has done so far throughout the whole of this Paralympic tournament. Gabriel Araudo, nicknamed Buffon, starts as the goaltender for the Italians. Gianluigi Rosa and also Sandro Kalegaris, the 2 main ones to watch for them. As for Sweden, well, this a big one for them. Ulf Nilsson will be the goaltender, arguably one of the best in Europe. Also part of the starting roster, Niklas Ingvarsson with a wealth of experience. And the same has to be said for Per Kasperi, who is the main man offensively for Sweden in this. We are braced and ready to go here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre. Once again, a healthy crowd for this game. Doesn't necessarily take the Republic of Korea to be in town for the locals to be interested. They have turned out in good numbers for a vast majority of the group fixtures that we have had so far. Gabriel Araudo then, he's been a busy man in the first 2 games for Italy. Some big saves at the back end of day 1 against Norway, which forced the game into overtime. Ulf Nilsson, not much he could do about the superiority of the Canadians' offensive line in their first game. This, a much different task ahead of them. This is a game that Sweden can win, but Italy, potentially one of the dark horses in this Paralympic Games. 27 goals conceded by both outfits to Canada alone so far. I expect this to be much closer. Italy perhaps the favourites, but they've got to go out there and earn it. For one of them, it could be lights out in these Paralympic Games. Will it be Italy? Will it be Sweden? We're about to find out. Puck drop seconds away. Sweden, the fathers of para ice hockey, founders of the sport back in the 1960s, up against Italy. The relatively new kids on the block. As Kasperi goes for an early burst, and this could be the perfect start for Sweden. He blasts it wide of the far post. That's the sort of intent, though, that Sweden and Erik Wikström, their coach, would have wanted from them. And Italy almost shell-shocked inside the first 20 seconds. A very open complexion already, as Italy themselves will go down the other end now, and working it nicely. The shot comes in, and Nilsson has to make the first save of the game. Andrea Macri was the one making the inroads towards the hash mark, and Nilsson down comfortably and casually to just pick that like an apple off a tree. But it was Kasper at the other end who failed to hit the target with the best opening yet. The angle slightly against him, Morado filling most of the net. The early chance going a begging for both sides. For the neutral, this is exactly the sort of start that you would want. Fast pace, intense, and one where both sides fully aware of what is at stake. As it's lumped in towards the centre, and a massive chance that for Winkler, who didn't get his bearings right. The puck came at him in a rate of knots, and it just smacked against his sledge and stick, and was edged away to safety by Sweden, who seem to be chasing shadows at times when the puck's in the neutral zone. Have to make sure that they may be using a lot of heart in this contest, but they also use their head as well. Ingvarsson just about getting there at the second time of asking, forced towards the board, and he's relentless as he pushes it forward. Offside against Rakov though, and Rosa will keep things ticking over for Italy. They now try and find the space again. The two Swedes on the defensive line being dragged out to either side of the ring, which is creating a gaping gap right at the heart of the Italian defensive zone. First big crunching connection of the game is Nilsson, and then Ingvarsson going in there on DePauli as well. Holm does well, Sweden no pushovers. And the first chance they've got to knock the puck around after Italy there were beginning to look menacing. Ayala can't bring it under his spell, the Swedish captain. Kasperi, such a dynamic individual is the Swedish number 8, and when he gets the puck, there's no real flair about it, but he manages to find the right space in front of him to worm into and carve out opportunities for his side. It was his 2 goals against Germany in the qualification tournament in October in Östersund, in a game that was a straight shootout. The winner was going to come to these Paralympic Games. Kasperi came up big and got 2, as Nilsson once again puts in a bit of a shift onto Planka. And Varsson putting a cool head on things. That was going to go too far for Mark Holm. And the first pause of the game, a chance to collect some breath. It has been fast out of the trap stuff, but goalless it remains. Italy 0, Sweden 0. Scrap for possession is ultimately picked off by Sweden. Now Rosa scored against Norway on day 1 and then thumps it against his own player that possibly denied a goal that time around. Leperdi denying Ulf Nilsson the opportunity to even make a save from that Rosa drive. And Sweden surviving again. And they're pressing up high as Sweden, but they have to make sure they're not leaving gaps in behind. Ingvarsson trying to thread it through. There may have been an offside anyway against Kasperi. The linesman just darting his arms out horizontally either side of his body to indicate that there was no infringement, but it doesn't matter anyway, because Rosa goes down the other end. It's a tame effort that's flicked towards the front post, and Nilsson comfortably deals with it. Rosa, there's an option in the centre, and it's a left arm flick. Back for Rosa again, and it just squirmed away from the right blade. Rosa recycling things on the 3rd phase of play for Italy. Here he is again, this time on the left-hand side, and Nilsson untroubled. And Sweden beginning to be pitched back into their own defensive zone, but things may flip around now because the first penalty of the game has been awarded, and it's the man on your screen there who was the guilty party, Greg Leperdi. Back Kalegaris, which is a big blow for the Italians. Their main man, he scored on day one against Norway. He had 7 from 7 as well at this very venue at the World Championships 12 months ago. And he'll set out the next 2 minutes. Sweden with the first power play. And surely their eyes will be lighting up at this opportunity. I think the officials have decided we're going to take a short break here. Goalless at 0-0. Rosa with that opportunity there, which was difficult for Nilsson. The bouncing puck skimming off the surface. Never easy to deal with. Big 2 minutes of this first period coming up. Nilsson trying to shug away the attention there of Larch. Ingvarsson threads it across to the near side and Holm. The Italians just blocking out the spine of their defensive zone right now and forcing the Swedes out wide. Kasperi with the invention to cannon it off the board and find Holm. There are 2 yellow jerseys in the centre, neither of them can be found. And then trying to scamper forward is Larch, and Nilsson will just crawl out of his crease and knock it into the corner where Ingvarsson can mop things up. There's a Yala. Bit too much on that for Kasperi, but he'll get there the second time of asking. But Holm was just dallying around the blue line and was offside. I think he's making the point that there was some connection from an Italian that denied him getting back into the neutral zone, but either way it's a wasted minute of this power play as far as Sweden are concerned, and Italy coming up trumps thus far. Both sides using the opportunity to make the line changes. They're going to get another penalty now, and this time it's against Sweden. And it looks like Peter Nilsson on Kaufman, and said that Sweden wasted the first 60 seconds. Well, they've wasted a bit more time as well now, because it's going to go 4 on 4, and ultimately this power play will be counterintuitive. They've killed their own power play, and they'll be on the reverse of a 5 on 4 in Italy's favour. Interference from Peter Nilsson. The pendulum has swung back into a neutral position, although it may go into the favour of the Italians now. Cagliari going for the one from range. Ingvarsson felt the full force of that one. Well negotiated by Cagliari. Now Rosa, he can use that sort of room to his advantage. It's deflected again into the corner. Ingvarsson doing some key defensive work. That one behind the goal line for icing. This really a case of Sweden having their backs against the wall here. They've sacrificed their main offensive outlets for this 2-minute spell. And in around 13 seconds time, it will be Italy with the man advantage. Ingvarsson motoring on the near side. Eventually just letting Rosa have it and getting back to focus on Planka. Ingvarsson manages to get the interception. Kalegaris back on the ice and wasting no time at all, skipping away from Rakos, and he's trying to slide it through there for Macri, and maybe the wrong decision from Kalegaris, who seems to have the goal at his mercy. Now Rosa! Nilsson, as cool as a cucumber, has just stuck out the left hand there above his head and taking that puck straight into his grasp. Some venom on that one from Rosa, who on day one cracked a similar effort over the head and off the bar against Heimat. Nilsson not to be beaten. Real chance now, and again Nilsson spoiling himself, but surely the rebound will go in. How did Planka miss? And then the puck goes in the net, but it will not count. Already the referee had blown. Well, how on earth did that not hit Ulf Nilsson's goal? And I think that's the question they're going to be asking for some time. Maybe this will tell us a little bit more. Nilsson with the heroics initially, and Planka has just completely lost track of his radar there and may have inadvertently blocked the effort coming in afterwards as well. Straight to Ayala. Combination of Ayala and Nilsson denying what seemed like a certain goal, as Italy, with 30 seconds remaining on the power play, almost making it count there. They may have one last opportunity to do that now. Here is Planka, trying to atone for that miss. He won't do that. Checked pretty forcefully by Ingvarsson. And have Sweden surf this wave. Planka. Lapurdi attracts the attention of two yellow jerseys. There will be another yellow jersey now on the ice as Sweden are back at full strength, and they'll need them here as well to sort out Lapurdi. They get numbers across, but Italy are spreading themselves nicely around the ice right now, and they're picking up the spaces as well. Not the best stick handling that from Macri. Lapurdi maybe chancing his arm. It's an intelligent thread for Kalegaris. Kalegaris just hogging the puck in the corner. And he's got two blue jerseys, should I say, on the far side. Macri now one of them, jumping it over the bar. Well, that was audacious. And he looks to the heavens after that one. I don't think Nilsson was expecting it. I don't even think Nilsson saw it coming towards him until it had gone. Now Hedberg. Smacky against Ingvarsson. You'd think with the way that the last few exchanges have gone that Sweden was still on the penalty kill, because they just don't seem to have that extra body from Italy, making it apparent that they've got. It is a 5-on-5 situation, but they're finding the extra spaces right now. Rosa, can he make it count? Again, it's blocked by the yellow wall, and Nilsson, the last line of it, putting his body on the line and on the crease to deny the puck going in as well. Italy getting stronger and increasing their flex in this game. Massimo Darin will be concerned there's been no goal to show for it. But the way the Italians are going right now, you feel like it's coming. 6 minutes remaining in the first period. Goalless here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre on day 3 of the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games, but Sweden yet to register a shot. Ulf Nilsson in the Sweden goal has made 5 saves to keep things all square. Deadlock yet to be broken in this all-European affair. Winkler, the latest to go sniffing around the posts. Peter Nilsson. Meng just comfortably ousted off the puck there on that far side by an Italian team with a real streak about them at the moment. Macri parading himself around the back of the net before releasing the pass. Capaldi puts it into an area and asks someone in blue to chase onto it. Nilsson forwards. I think Meng thought he was offside there, so held himself on the blue line when he could have motored forwards. He almost got onto the end of that one. Cagliari away. Things getting a bit cagey again in the centre. Massimo Delin urging his Italians to progress forward into the final third. Varsson keeping the puck close to his body before releasing Kasperi in that sort of position again. Kasperi, what sort of angle can he work here? He's got Ingvarsson in the middle. He hits the side of the net. Now it's back for Hedberg to crack one, and that's blocked by the Italians. Gilstein. Now it's Ingvarsson, and suddenly it's Sweden with a bit of momentum. Kasperi seems to be making the Italians nervous whenever he gets the puck, but unfazed by him was Niles Larch, the 20-year-old, taking part in his second Paralympic Games. And Varsson, we've seen a lot of the puck so far, and a lot of ice time as well. Hedberg. One thing the Italians seem to do better than the Swedes at the moment is spread themselves across the ice and get into different spaces. Rosa now trying to create the room round the back and search for the pullback. There's the option on the near side. He'll go directly backwards instead as the effort comes through, and again wide with Nilsson flailing. Plumped back into the centre. And again, no one in blue can get the stick on the end of it. Sweden really having to do the dirty work right now. Hedberg just not aware of what was going on around him. Difficult for the likes of Christian Hedberg, the Swedish number 15, 1.95 metres. And when you're against athletes in this sport that may be double amputees below the waist, they really have that advantage of getting around the ice at a quicker rate. Meng. Lovely pirouette away momentarily from Rosa. Back for Peter Nilsson, and he's quickly closed down, but the two Italians have left room behind them, which Rakos can now expose. Hedberg's lost a stick, so he can't get involved yet in the centre. Rakos is forced against the board, and we're going to get a penalty against Rakos. Delayed penalty from the referee coming now. And it will be Niklas Rakos, the 31-year-old, nicknamed the Moose, who will be trotting away towards the penalty box. 2 minutes remaining of the first period here in Gangneung. Crowd in good voice. But that lack of quality at the moment, meaning it's Italy 0, Sweden 0, deadlock yet to be broken. It's the second Italian power play of the game. And they had Sweden on the ropes on the first occasion. Planka trying to make Sure, the second is efficient. Nilsson straight back to Planka. Ayala was in the way, and then Kalegaris. They were queuing up, and they said, "You have it, sir," because he is clinical, and he was not going to miss from there. Ulf Nilsson just shakes his head as the Italians find their voice and find the breakthrough as well. It was a difficult deadlock to pick their way through, but Sandro Kalegaris was always going to be the man. It's Italy 1, Sweden 0. Planka persistent, Kalegaris potent, and Italy leading. Well, Sandro Kalegaris with a goal coming just over 90 seconds before the end of the first period, coming on the power play. His second goal of these Paralympic Games. He opened Italy's account against Norway on day one. And again, it's a Scandinavian outfit feeling the full force of the Italian number 9. Sweden just seem to lack composure right now. Meng. Nilsson with a underlap there, going down the left channel. And Varson, who's had to do a lot of hard work so far in this game. Rosa. Chance. Oh, it's hit the post. Ipali there. Nilsson covered his base to his right. And Ipali didn't have much room to aim for, but still, Sweden will count themselves lucky that the scoreline remains at just 1. Dying embers of the first period. Can Italy stick another nail into things? Nilsson there just nailing a puck into the face of the referee. But can Italy strike once more? And again, Nilsson have to flop to his right. The puck goes past him, and he'll just want this to be over. It is. Italy leading by 1-0. And if anyone was going to find that little bit of inspiration that was required to get on the score sheet here, it was going to be Sandro Kalegaris, assisted by Winkler.
And an additional assist to number 3, Gianluigi Rosa.
He was persistent enough to challenge Ayala and Nilsson. Square back for Kalegaris, who just planted it home. Rakos protesting his innocence at the end of that one, as Italy did score on the power play, but nevertheless, at the first intermission, it's Italy 1, Sweden 0.
Team Italy 1, Team Sweden 0.
1피리어드 종료 스코어 이탈리아 1, 스웨덴 0입니다.
Shots on goal for the first period for Team Italy 8, for Team Sweden 1.
1피리어드 슈팅 숫자를 발표하겠습니다. 이탈리아 팀 8회, 스웨덴 팀 2회입니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Unattended property could be considered a security risk and may be confiscated by police. Please keep your belongings with you at all times.
안내 말씀드리겠습니다. 방치된 물건은 보안상 위험 요소로 간주되어 수거될 수 있으니 개인 소지품 관리에 주의해 주시길 바랍니다.
Here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre, it is Italy winning against Sweden in the battle between the two European outfits in Group A. The Italians' goal coming towards the back end of the first period, but it was a goal that had been coming. You see there the 8 Italian shots to Sweden's solitary 1. It's been a busy first period for Ulf Nilsson, the Sweden goaltender. As for Gabriel Araujo in the Italian goal, a surprisingly quiet game for him thus far. Sweden were on the front, it has to be said, in the first moments of the game. Before it was Kalegaris who struck the back of the net with his second goal of this Paralympic Games. Good support for both outfits here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre on day 3 of PyeongChang 2018, the Paralympic Winter Games. And certainly it's an event that the crowds have been buying into. Kasperi almost with the perfect start for Sweden, but that really only venture forward. Since then it's been a case of Ulf Nilsson sprawling himself from the right to the left in his crease. And despite how comfortable he was making those saves look, it did come to boiling point as far as Italy were concerned, with Sweden conceding the penalty, Arakos in the box for 2 minutes, and Italy on their second power play of the game eventually made it count. It looked as if it was going to take something special to beat Ulf Nilsson, who was just picking up the puck whenever it came to him. But his resistance in goal, despite the spectacular and somewhat improbable,
please turn your attention to the video board for highlights from the first period of play.
Came to an end. This from Planka. It seemed like it was going to be a certain goal. Rosa couldn't put away the goods either, but it was Planka's hard work that supplied Kalegaris with the perfect ammunition to fire home towards the target. And eventually, 13 minutes and 16 seconds into the first period, Italy got their breakthrough, and it was deserved as well, in a game where Italy know 3 points and they are into the semi-finals. But Sweden, win or bust. At the moment, it's the latter, unless they pull something out of the bag in the next half an hour, starting with period 2. This the final chance of that first period. DePaoli there wrapping his right blade around it and just stinging the outside of the post. Italy back onto the ice, led out by Gianluigi Rosa, the 46-year-old from Turin, who made his debut in the hometown games of 2006 in Turin.
And welcome back to the ice, Team
Sweden
Sweden.
in their traditional yellow jerseys, they dart back out onto the ice as well to a very warm reception. But it's they who are going to have to bring up the temperature a few notches, because right now it's pretty frosty out there for them. Ulf Nilsson, he always expects to be busy. Such a calm figure in the Swedish goal, but he would like his opposite number, Gabriel Araujo, to do a bit of the work as well. And we're waiting for the opportunity to see indeed why Araujo is nicknamed Buffon in the Italian camp. Sweden need to make sure that they test the Italian goaltender in the next 15, because Italy lead by a 0-0. Everything for them going to plan. The next goal will be crucial. Araujo in his 3rd Paralympic Games. Hope that's not him trying to stay awake. It was an uneventful first period for him. Ulf Nilsson, complete contrast to that. The big players on both sides needing to turn up. A lack of quality in the first period was finally put to an end by Sandro Kalegaris. It's his 9th goal in 9 and a bit matches in this arena, including the World Championships from 2017. Period 2 underway. Italy looking to use the momentum from the back end of the first period as a token of success at the start of the second. Kasperi almost finding the perfect pass for Holm. It's going to go for icing that. Sweden are counting on their big players here, and a disparaging amount of line changes that they've made, with Niklas Ingvarsson, the number 3 for Sweden, playing all 15 minutes of that first period, which is unheard of at these Paralympic Games so far. A mighty 12 minutes as well for Peter Nilsson. The two defensemen for Sweden are being worked ragged here. Kalegaris, the goal scorer, leaving the ice for charging for the next 2 minutes. So a second power play now for Sweden. Italy made their second count 13 minutes into the first period, and now it's down to the Scandinavians to do the same. Ingvarsson. Sure, he enjoyed that break in the intermission more than anyone after clocking 15 minutes in that first period. That lethal left blade just pinging it out towards Kasperi, slightly behind him. Nilsson's an option, who's got a lot of room. Kasperi just saw the corner in front of him and wanted to charge towards it. Strong from Holm. Chance for Ingvarsson. Kasperi just couldn't quite take the sting out of the pass. Ingvarsson. It's on his favoured left side. Kasperi was not expecting that. And again, that breakdown in communication. It's been the part of Sweden's game so far. Ingvarsson, as reliable as ever. Not finding a yellow jersey with 40 seconds remaining of this power play. Nilsson puts it into the right area, but Ayala not responding. Now on the penalty kill, it's Italy who are trying to sting Sweden at the other end. Will there be one last burst forward this from Sweden? There won't be, because Kalegaris is now back on the ice, and Sweden have just passed up the last 2 minutes. Hedberg easily shrugged away from Karoliak. Rosa. Good reaction is that from the linesman to just hop out of the way. That's cheap from Nilsson. It's slammed across. Kalegaris again, and Kalegaris denied by the physical presence of Rakos, who just threw his body and sledge in the way. Kalegaris with a second bite of the cherry. An army of yellow in front of him that he's not going to break down alone. Meng was trying to lead a counter charge. And towards goal from Corvino as the penalty against Sweden is now given. And Rakos will be coming to the penalty box. For teeing, which is a unique foul in para ice hockey where you use the end of your sledge to go into the side of an opponent, and that block from Kalegaris just a bit too malicious with the use of the sledge there for the referee Shitaro Yamaguchi's liking. Not ideal. But Sweden still within a goal, and with Kasperi on the ice, there's always hope. And another penalty coming up now, and this time it's against Italy. And Macri, to Massimo Darin's frustration, the guilty party. And he's protesting that it was just a fair 50-50 lunge in there. And the referee not so sure. Well, I'm not quite sure. Maybe hooking with the stick underneath the sledge. Holding is the official verdict, and Macri hardly done by that. Four on four right now. Sweden given another break. Kasperi so far not really been allowed to show what he can do. He's been suffocated on this left-hand side. Maybe if he was in a bit more of a central position, darting through the blue jerseys, he could pave an avenue to goal. Italy get it into the neutral zone. And strong play coming in from Rosa on Ingvarsson. Holm didn't know Kalegaris was behind him. Holm needing eyes in the back of his head there, or at least a shout from a teammate, because Kalegaris was sniffing blood. And now Italy are sniffing out the goals, and Nilsson denying that the effort from the Purdy, who smacks the ice with his stick in frustration. Italy have another 36 seconds before they go a man down, and Sweden have Rakos returning to the ice. A rare sight on goal in the second period for Italy. But Nilsson, who was slightly off balance there, just went to his left and gratefully grasped. Rosa's got the attention of Gilstan behind him. Now the two number 6 lock horns. And they do it on the floor with Nilsson in the back of Cavalier. And Sweden gaining the upper hand from that play. Nilsson. Sweden tantalisingly close to returning to full strength. And they'll have 30 seconds to do something with it. And then that has gone for icing. Sweden just dragging themselves back in their own defensive zone. Not the best game management. Rakos making his way back onto the ice there because the penalty clock had run out, but the referee had already blown his whistle to signify and back up the linesman's view that another face-off was needed to be had. They've had it now. The referee's still not happy as he's conferring with the technical officials on the near side. Italy leading this by a 0-0 against Sweden. Still, the goal in the first period is what separates these two sides, who are both as close to elimination from the tournament as they are from progression. How Italy would love a second. Now Sweden are back at full strength, and there are 25 seconds of the Swedish power play, and Rosa doing the right thing here, trying to just kill the puck in the corner, but make sure the referee has no reason to halt things. Hedberg aggressive there. He's fortunate not to be deemed overly aggressive, as Kalegaris certainly hit that in an aggressive manner, which Nilsson responded to with interest. Italy now back at full strength. 5-on-5 once again. But I feel with the way this game is going at the moment, it's a vociferous speed that the game's going at, and there is a lot of tenacity involved in this. And I think there's going to be one or two more penalties, maybe in this period alone, as Nilsson clatters into the back of Planka. I think Varsen's got a bit of room. And Sweden there having 3 yellow jerseys dragged towards the puck in the neutral zone when really only one of them needed to be there. The defenseman of Nilsson and Ingvarsson not having the ice time shared out. Erik Wikström just sticking with those two very trusty parts of the Swedish programme. And Varsson again putting in a shift. As we come towards the halfway point of the game, Italy 1, Sweden 0. As it stands, it's Italy who will be joining Canada in the semi-finals. As Rosa delightfully gets away from Ingvarsson and can slip it across. Kalegaris had a challenge in the back. There was a goal anyway that will not be given, and that could be controversial because Kalegaris was fouled and Sweden concede the penalty, and the referee has deemed here that there was no need for the delayed penalty, and that's because Nilsson's been caught in the action and shoved into the back of the net. And I think that's the right call from Sandro Yamaguchi, despite Govino being understandably frustrated by being denied a goal and having it chalked off. There is a discussion now happening between Sandro Yamaguchi and the technical officials, and they're deciding right now whether this is going to be a goal or it's going to be an Italian power play. Either way, the Italians will benefit with a goal extra or a man extra, but the two certainly disproportionate in terms of importance right now. This is the action again. Rosa doing the right thing and cutting it across, and Kalegaris there, he had Holm in his back, and Holm, for interference, concedes the penalty. And he now is in the penalty box. Nilsson caught up in things, pushed into his own net, and that meant when Valerio Covino hit it into goal, that doesn't count. And eventually we've untangled what was going on there, and I think that a face-off will be how he resumed, and Italy will stay at a goal ahead, but they will have the next 2 minutes to make the most of the power play. Yeah, more drama here at the Para Ice Hockey at the Gangneung Hockey Centre. 30 kilometres east of PyeongChang here at these Paralympic Winter Games, where this sport really has captured the imagination of many who have watched it thus far. Planka trying to cut it across and get another assist under his belt. Nilsson does well, but just comes into Ingvarsson. Winkler taking care of the rubber and getting it back now as well. Is there any blue in the middle? There is around the back. De Pauli just having to take a bit of a detour there. Planka's central if he wants him. He just goes around the centre himself and then arcs it back nicely. Here is Planka, and there's a bit of room in front of him. He maybe took a bit too long there. Still it's alive, and Nilsson just stops it dead in his crease. Nilsson vulnerable at times, but in the second period he's had less to face, it has to be said, than he did in the first set of 15 minutes. Italy leading by that 1-0. They have a minute left of the power play. Three shots on goal so far in the second period from Italy. Oh, there was another one, and I think that's at the inside of the pipe, because despite the fact Nilsson got down into that area, the way the puck ricocheted across to the near side suggests that it was the inside of the post that came to Sweden's rescue. As the sticks go flying, the bodies do as well. Things not pretty at the moment for Sweden. They just want to get the dirty work done, as a delayed penalty is coming, and Sweden now will get a power play. Still 20 seconds remaining of Italy having the man advantage, but after that it will be Sweden who have the man extra. And the guilty party for teeing there is Rosa, and he's gone into his opposite number, Ingvarsson. So into the penalty box he goes, and well, big moments of the second period. How many more power plays are Sweden wanting to have before they do something with it? So Planka for charging rather than Rosa in the penalty box, and Sweden will have the man advantage very soon. They will be back to full strength. Holm is on the ice and immediately looking to get into the action. Sperry will take the onus on himself. Rosa is the dominant party. These are precarious times for Italy now, because that 1-goal advantage, despite their dominance, does not seem that much, does it? Sweden can't even get it out from behind their own goal right now. That's fantastic pressing from Italy. Strong on the check, and only now can Sweden get it away, but with Kasperi, and there are two yellow shirts up there. Holm and also Nilsson trying to get involved. Ross has done an awesome job as it's pulled across by Kasperi, and just as successful in his defensive work was Laperdi. And Rossa and Laperdi outnumbered but not outthought. And now Laperdi just trying to turn defence into attack. Oh, what a goal that would have been, but I think he may have got dizzy by the end of that play, as he'll now be replaced. Sweden with the best opening they may have had in this game, and the best they may will get. Still feel there's a chance in there for them, but not on this power play now because there are 5 seconds to go. And Italy will be back with 5. And equal things out in that respect. Planka immediately just getting involved and being denied by Larch, who I think got lost there. Larch laterally going in front of Nilsson and doing the Swedish goaltender's work for him. Peter Nilsson. Kasperi immediately darted into by Rosa. It's then looped towards the far side, and Planka again is the man first to it. It's a lovely slide back onto the right blade, loses his balance, and Varsson just cannons into the board, and it's blood and thunder this. Fast and furious, but 1-0 Italy. Kasperi with a very ambitious drive. There was no support with him. And this line change from Sweden's taking a while, and Flanker's got space to put it in, and Rosa nipped in ahead of Nilsson and then bobbed it on his head, controlling it for the next phase. Well, it's carnage out there right now, and someone from either side just needs to put a lid on the madness and grab this by the scruff of the neck with 2.5 minutes to go in the second period and show some quality like Kalegaris did in the first period. Italy, out of the two teams, look the most likely to do that, but they haven't offered as much in this period as they had in the first. Gilston just couldn't latch on to the end of it, and Planka smacks it against Nilsson. Planka again, Winkler's in there, and it's a big touch away from Nilsson. Well, those in yellow jerseys in this place right now, I don't know if they've got their fingernails left. Nervous times. Gilstein didn't trust himself to beat Macri for the pace. And Italy taking the sting out of things once more. Well, what Sweden have lacked in quality in this game, they've certainly made up for in heart and determination. Just over a minute to go of the second period. It's been a lot closer affair. Still Italy with more puck possession and the more likely to probe. Offside given. And so we'll go into the Italian defensive zone with Italy still in front by a 0 against Sweden in the second period. This is the opportunity for Italy that hit the inside of the post. First time we've had the opportunity to look back at that, such as the nature of this game. Rosa bobbing it off the helmet, just out of shot there after Nilsson had got the initial interception in. It was almost nonchalant and wonderful from Rosa, who just couldn't chip it over Nilsson. Well, Sweden here, I think, have just got to make sure that they don't concede another one before the period is out, and then they'll take it to the final set of 15 minutes. There is an offside there against Ayala. Well, don't forget, this is the third meeting between these two sides at the Paralympic Games. The most recent meeting in Sochi in 2014 was pretty tight. Italy coming out on top in overtime by 3-2. Sweden were 2-0 ahead in that one. Kasperi bagging the brace. But apart from that early effort, he's not had a chance to replicate that sort of form in this game either. He's trying to get on the end of that one, but he just seems to be dragged by two blue jerseys around him every time. Nilsson. This will be the last play of the second period. And Sweden a lot more resolute than they were in the 15. Italy frustrated that they couldn't make the most of their opportunities, but Leperdi might put that behind them as he slides that past the post. And that will be that as Rosa tries to recycle things. He has a word or two as well with the Swede, who is home on that far side. But that need not matter. The grand scheme of things at the end of the second period still shows Italy ahead by 1-0. They had a goal ruled out during that course of 15 minutes as well. Rightly so, it was called by Satoru Yamaguchi. Sweden with a lot of work to do if they're to turn this round in the third period. They still need a win out of this one. It's Italy 1, Sweden 0. No goals in the second period here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre, with Italy leading by that one goal at the back end of the first set of 15 minutes from Sandro Kalegaris, the 27-year-old, with his second goal of these Paralympic Winter Games. You can see how Sweden managed to stifle the Italian offensive line in that second period to just 4 shots, half of what they managed in the first period. Pretty feisty as well between the two outfits, both of them clocking up 8 penalty minutes over the course of that period of the game as well. And a few bleak looks around on those wearing blue and yellow at the moment. As for the Stars and Stripes of the USA, they are already into the semi-finals, as are Canada. It's all about in Group A, however, whether it will be Norway or Italy or Sweden to join the Maple Leafs. Kalegaris with not really much of a look in the second period. You can just see there that line of Sweden jerseys who aren't just out there to close down the Italians, shutting out the space of one another as well. They're just doing whatever they can to get at least one body in front of the puck. There was a couple of instances where there was daylight between the puck and Ulf Nilsson's goal, but Ulf Nilsson as commanding as ever and stopping whatever comes in his way. Leperdi denied that after that vicious effort that was destined for the top corner. This was a bit of a controversial moment after it seemed as if the Italians had scored thanks to Valero Corvino, but it was halted for Holm conceding the penalty on the back of Kalegaris there, and Nilsson was inadvertently took out of the game after that, and so rightfully the referee pulled it back for the Italian power play, who could not benefit from the man advantage. Rasping drive, hitting the inside of the post as well. That time Nilsson was beaten as Kalegaris was licking his lips for a second. But the Italian bench will be happy with the one goal advantage, but nerves may be bubbling around underground also, because Sweden just one goal away from really turning this one around. Italy needing a win, otherwise it will go to the final game between Sweden and Norway on day 4, and it'll be at the Italians' hands. This is their final game of Group B, Italy, and they're wanting to keep things in their own destiny. May have noticed no Swedish offensive involvement in that highlights reel there. No shots from Sweden in the second period. Only one on target from the first, as Ulf Nilsson has been by far the busier goaltender with 11 saves from 12 shots. Gabriel Araudo with just the one moment for him to look back on so far at the end of this game. 30 minutes down, just the 15 to go here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre on day 3 of PyeongChang 2018. It's the Paralympic Winter Games from the Republic of Korea. And Italy, at the moment, are the ones in pole position to progress from Group A, unless Sweden have something incredible up their sleeve. There's always an opportunity, but Gabriel Araudo really needs to be tested far more than he has been thus far. And see the 52 minutes clocked up by Ulf Nilsson so far, and in this game alone, the likes of Ingvarsson yet to leave the ice, the Sweden number 3. So dependable, but surely so shattered as well right now. He's played all half an hour of this game so far. Nilsson as well on 24.5 minutes. Kasperi flirting around the 17-minute mark. Italy's main performer, Gianluigi Rosa on 21.04. as the decibel levels are cracked through the roof here at this 10,000-seater facility. Italy against Sweden. The Italians leading by a 1-0, and the third and final period about to get underway. Away we go. Who will be the victors of this one? With so much riding on it. There has been a lack of quality in this game compared to some of the other para ice hockey matches we've enjoyed in the first 3 days here in PyeongChang 2018, but there's always a chance. It only takes a moment. It's one moment that separates the two outfits so far, despite the Italian dominance. Sandro Kalegaris, the only one to have his name in lights and on the score sheet. Ingvarsson, the only player so far to play every minute of the game going into a final period. Ayala had teammates left and right straying offside there, which is frustrating because he seemed to have the wind in his sails. Both sides using the opportunity to make the changes. Italy changing wholesale and Sweden just opting again for that front line. Rosa wonderfully navigating his way forward into the neutral zone, and the release pass as well sets Italy deep into Swedish territory. Tricky for Ingvarsson with the stick in front of him there, but like a bull in a china shop, he just drilled his way through it, and man as well in front of him. Good control from Meng before Rosa unceremoniously dispossessed him. And that's gone for icing. And a chance for Sweden to get some territory. As the game's gone on here, Sweden have managed to close out the gaps that they were leaving in the first period. But when they've got the puck, they just haven't looked like scoring, and that's what they've got to do at the moment. Level things up, settle down, and maybe think about the winner, but that first goal has got to come for Sweden pretty sharpish. Italy coming out on top in the face-offs as well, and going to be winning those 50-50s. Kasperi there feeling as though there was an illegal infringement coming his way from Winkler, so he goes back and gives him a bit where that came from as well. And second icing call within a minute against Italy. As Massimo Durin's men just have to make sure that the flair that they offer doesn't evaporate here due to the scrappy game that Sweden are trying to impose. Ingvarsson out on top that time around. Holm using the wrong end of his stick there. He had the pick end of it instead of the blade end, and that meant he was never really going to control it. Of course, the surface area of the blade end greater than the pick end. The pick end used to do what Winkler's doing now and just use them like skis to bomb forwards. Kasperi almost finding a gap to slot the puck in through. Rosa again as controlled and elegant as always, as Italy come forward and blaze it over, and that was the first opening of the third period for 20-year-old Niles Lark. Not maximised. And Sweden have got to take the rough for the smooth right now. As Larch is in again, and he's missed again. And I'm not quite sure how that was the case, because he had time there to think about the shot, and he still slotted it wide. Nilsson into the corner by May. On the other side is Ingvarsson. He's looking around at his teammates right now and thinking, look lads, I've done all the defensive work. You're really asking me to be up there as well and do something for you. Sweden doing well to force Italy to the long-range efforts. Ingvarsson, supreme. Nilsson does well to keep the puck going, but he was behind the red line when he struck that forwards to the goal line, and icing the call. At the chance for Larch. And the pressure on him there from Ingvarsson, just enough to block out the far corner, being a possibility. Ingvarsson getting a bit of a tangle with the back ball. Nilsson with a flick away. Hedberg not quick enough to beat Planker to it. Fatigue will have a part to play here as well. It's been a busy schedule for both of these outfits. Italy with their third game in as many days. Sweden had day 2 off, but after the drubbing against Canada, it really was a case of licking their wounds and coming back again as another offside call is made, and the number of offsides that Sweden have inflicted on themselves is unprecedented right now. As Eric Wikström uses this as an opportunity to talk to his players. It's a bit of a break in the game this. Italy 1, Sweden 0. Well, Massimo De Roon usually just cuts the same sort of emotion. Doesn't look too troubled right now. Eric Wikström there with the clipboard, just communicating with his players, and that's his assistant there on your screen now as well, Timo Latinen. Part of time in the Gangneung Hockey Centre, but they'll be wanting another goal to cheer. You feel like there will be another one in this. There are usually tight games between these two outfits, but still goals are present. Most recent meeting being in the World Championship in 2017. There were 2 meetings there with Italy winning both of them 2-1. In the round robin, and then 4-0 in the 5th place game. Holm just shoving Cavalier almost into the crowd. Gilstein's giving everything to the cause there, but not coming out on top. This has been its hardest period yet, one which Italy haven't been able to test Ulf Nilsson in. And we haven't seen much of Sandro Kalegaris in this period so far as well, and I just wonder if they're saving him for when he's needed, whether it be at the back end of this game after a Sweden equaliser, which would be risky, but prudent if it came off, or if he's been saved for the next round of the Paralympics, because whether you qualify in the top two or not in the group stages, you do not book your flights home for the Republic of Korea just yet. The top four face each other in the semi-finals to decide who'll go into the gold medal game, and as for those who finish in the bottom two positions in each of the groups, they go in the 5th to 8th place games to decide who finishes exactly where in the final standings. And I think Varsson again doing defensive duty, and Larch just happy to lay in his shadow really and admire the work that Varsson has done in this game. And still in the thick of it is the 39-year-old from Malmö. Effort deflected towards Nilsson, who just battered it away. Varsson again. Room on the far side. Rosa was sniffing around, but it's a very good bit of stick handling against Nilsson, the effort. And Araudo forced into his first bit of work for quite some time. And he will feel the warmth on his hands once again after saving that one. I'm sure his gloves were turning pretty cold. Less than 8.5 minutes to go. Kasperi, can he ignite that bit of magic? Nilsson. Now there will be a penalty coming up against Italy as Main just goes around in circles and turns to see the referee, who points towards Niels Larch, who will have 2 minutes in the penalty box, and that's the first power play that either side has had in the final period. They were a prominent partner of period two. And the needle still injected in this game. This is the incident, and it's roughing there from Larch. A hush around the Gangneung Hockey Centre. A bit of a break for both sides, as both of them talk about how they're going to negotiate the next couple of minutes here. It's Italy 1, Sweden 0. Well, it's the Sweden assistant coach Timo Lahtinen who is doing most of the talking right now. Eric Wikström just watching in the wings and talking to those who are on the bench. Crucial couple of minutes for Sweden. Will the men in yellow get another opportunity like this in the game? Kasperi just sent flying into the boards there and on his back, and he's lucky to the referee and appealing. He's not going to get anything. Sweden having to make the most of the one-man advantage. And Varsson, Nilsson, Kasperi making movements in front of him. Here he is now, managing to get the puck over the blue line before his body, which was difficult there as he was facing things sideways on. And Varsson trying to make the most of that on the far side, with Planka losing his stick. First minute of the power play evaporated for Sweden without any incident. Planka as Kalegaris is reintroduced onto the ice. In Varsson now, he's maybe a bit fatigued there. It was tame, and the opening is here for Kalegaris on the penalty kill. Sweden need to get this puck at the other end. Holmes just hovering around the blue line, and he's waiting for some sort of service as the referee gets into the thick of the action there. Kalegaris, save from Nilsson. Don't think he knew where that puck went, but Sweden going in the wrong direction right now. Italy doing all that they needed to do there to relieve the pressure on Gabriel Araudo and the defenseman and keep the puck at the other end of the rink. It's a battle out there, don't make any mistake about it. Rosa! Well, there was distance on it. Nilsson just dropped the puck to the stick of Ingvarsson to just try and keep some momentum going here for Sweden, but at the moment the momentum's coming the other way. May won't get to the end of that. Planka again as Italy just that little bit quicker. As it's beaten away and will go out for icing, and Italy back to full strength. And will that be the last wave they will have to surf in this game? Into the final 6 minutes, still the Italians in front by 1-0. Sweden with 5 power plays, and they've not had a shot, none even. Good save from Nilsson, and that was Covino who somehow got in front of Ingvarsson there. Covino again, good reaction from him. Ingvarsson has been so solid for Sweden. Rosa now, as the game begins to stretch, and Rosa has given Nilsson the eyes, and he's put the puck into the roof as his net, and that could be the goal that gets Italy out of the group stage and into the top 2. And will that be Sweden's last hope gone in a flash from Gianluigi Rosa? Goal 2 of these Paralympic Games for him. It's that same combination as it was against Norway. Kalegaris with the first, Rosa with the second. And Italy with a handsome buffer now over Sweden. They lead by 2-0. Chances for Italy have been hard to come by in periods 2 and 3. But they are ruthless when they get that chance. And Rosa there, such a good finisher for a defenseman. He really wraps some venom from his stick and onto the puck. And Kalegaris now, he wants another. Nilsson denies him at the near post. Sweden needs some urgency. And if only they were all as quick around the ice as this man is, as Ingvarsson again on his favoured left side. He can't do it all himself though. Kaufman charged into by Ingvarsson, and that affected the trajectory of that puck towards the far side. Nilsson Hemming and Barson being the linchpins of the Sweden defence that have been broken twice. Rakos, pass one, and just looping it towards the net before it was blocked. And this Italy's final game of Group B. They are set to end it on 5 points. Sweden pointless going into their final game on day 4 against Norway. Three and a half minutes left, and Sweden seem deflated because of this goal from Rosa, and Nilsson is just flailing in his wake, and Rosa square on, staring out Nilsson, and a flick of the wrist bombs into the roof of the net. Well, this is a different type of performance from Italy, where they've really had to dig in and take the few opportunities that have come about in the last half an hour or so and just stick them away. Doesn't matter how you've got the job done, so long as you get those goals and consequential points on the board. Mackley. Nilsson again being tested and refusing to be beaten. Nilsson still sharp and down quickly. It's his third Paralympic Games. After making his international debut in 2008. Corvino support with him. It's a lovely reverse flick, but read very well indeed by Holm. Ingvarsson. Kasperi. Just hope for Sweden's sake that the likes of Ingvarsson and Nilsson don't burn out at the Norway game on day 4. The amount of ice time that they have clocked up is ridiculous. It's a testament to them and their endurance. Ayala. He just seemed to get stuck in mud there, didn't he, Ayala? Planka could get across to him in the nick of time. Varsson is in front of Holm here, and Hedberg just has completely lost his bearings, and Laperdi can really rub salt into it now. He tries to tuck it under Nilsson, who spread himself big enough to make the stop. Ayala trying to be inventive by flicking it under the sledge. It was too powerful for Ingvarsson to bring under control. And now Italy again on the counter charge. Larch won't get anywhere near that. Rosa smacking it towards the far side and making Sweden just dart back towards their own goal as we descend into the final minute of the game. Italy with the 2-goal buffer, and that's not going to change unless they can get a third. The Purdy. Space for Kalegaris as Sweden all at sea. And Rosa is delicate, and Italy are building this one up. Not finding the end product for now. Kaufman recycling play. Holm is with him every step and just resorts to pushing him with 2 hands out of the way and allowing Invarson for one final spurt of energy from him. Kaufman ahead of Rakos, and as the puck once again goes back towards the Sweden end now for icing. Massimo Darin on the far side is just lowering his 2 hands down and back up again, saying calm it down. As Lepurdy there ghosted in between the 2 Swedish shirts like a chicane and just couldn't quite put it past Ulf Nilsson. Well, for the final 6 seconds, Ulf Nilsson's been sacrificed. Italy going against 6 Swedish shirts now. And I don't think they've got the time left, Sweden, to make the extra skater count. As the horn sounds, and it's a job successfully done by Italy. Not the most dynamic or pizzazz performance that they will put in over the course of these Paralympic Games, but enough to get the points on the board that might be enough to get them through into the semi-finals. Sweden out of the hunt for the top 4 now as they go into the all-Scandinavian affair against Norway on day 4. They'll have to make sure before then that they pick their heads up, because some real energy-sapping performances out there. Invarson playing all 45 minutes, Holm 26 minutes, Nilsson 34. But it was just 2 moments that counted really in the game. 2 players have already bagged for these Paralympic Games so far. Sandro Kalegaris and Gianluigi Rosa getting the necessary goals after 13 minutes and 39 minutes respectively to conclude this Group A match as Italy 2, Sweden 0. Another healthy crowd here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre, around 4,500 here, mostly made up of locals, but a lot have made the trip from Europe as well to be here in the Republic of Korea. Italy's road to success in these Paralympic Games continues. Possible underdogs, possible medalists. Work still to be done. Sweden back to the drawing board, and we'll be hoping not to finish at the foot of the standings at the end of these PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. They still have a Group A game to come against Norway. But Italy, after a ruthless and superior first period, seemed to slow things down in the second and third, which was credit to the ever-present Swedish defenseman. You can see the shot count in the third period reminiscent for both teams as it was in the first. The second, a quiet spell for both. But Italy not needing to force the issue, especially after they got that second goal, which put them in a commanding lead they were never going to let go of. Gabriel Araujo really troubled the Italian goaltender. It was the likes of Planka, Rosa, Cavaliere that did the work in front of him. As Italy round off their Group A campaign. 3 games, 2 wins and 5 points. Sweden still have 1 game to come to get off the mark in that respect. And wouldn't that be sweet against their near neighbours from Norway. I'm sure that'll be the message that Erik Wikström there is passing on to his players. All is not lost yet for Sweden. And there is still a lot to gain for Italy. At the end of this Group A affair here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre, it's Italy 2, Sweden 0. We have had some extraordinary sporting moments so far at the Gangneung Hockey Centre in the first 3 days of action at the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. This one will not be remembered in years to come, but as far as Italy are concerned, a 3rd straight Paralympic win against Sweden, causing emotional scenes there. Gianluigi Rosa's girlfriend seeing her partner secure the 2nd goal in what was a big 3 points over Sweden. The other goal coming from Sandro Kalegaris, the big game players coming to the fore right when it matters for the Italians as they round up their Group A campaign with 2 wins to their name.
안내 요원의 안내에 따라 질서 있는 퇴장